employ him to act as the inhabitants of the fire, and will thus make him enter the fire.
In other words, he didn't have a clue, although he gives us a clue as to what he is like, a peek into his soul, into his religion, and his deity. His God directs the actions of men, good and bad. If you are to believe Muhammad, Allah is the employer of evil, and that's not good. Worse, he directs men to act badly, so that he can punish them for acting as he decreed. Islam confirmed this fatalistic right and left hand stuff in a Bukhari hadith, and then again in the Quran's 56th surah.
Bukhari. Every created soul has his place written for him, either in paradise or in the hell fire. His happy or miserable fate is predetermined for him.
The Quran says in 56:8,
Those of the right hand, how happy will be those of the right hand. Those of the left hand, how unhappy will be those of the left hand. Who will be honored in the garden of bliss? A number of the earlier peoples, and a few of the later ages, on couches wrought of gold, reclining face to face. Youth of never-ending bloom,
those are the Islamic perpetual virgins,
will pass round. Cups and decanters full of sparkling wine. They shall not be affected with headache thereby, nor shall they get exhausted.
Sounds like Allah's Viagra.
And such fruits as they fancy, bird meats that they relish, and companions pure and beautiful, with big eyes like pearls within their shells as a reward.
A drunken orgy is the reward for being a right-hander. It's no wonder they find boys willing to die for the cause.
Quran 56, verse 33. Unending and forbidden, exalted beds, and maidens incomparable. We have formed them in a distinctive fashion and made them virgins, loving companions, matched in age, for the sake of those of the right hand.
This view of paradise is so vulgar, demeaning, sexist, and immoral, I find it repulsive. The next time you hear a Muslim say that the God of the Quran and the God of the Bible are the same, remind them of their God's idea of a good time. The next time you hear Muslims condemn the West for its sexual decadence and perversion, ask them to read their Quran. This is the fate the sadistic God of Islam selected and then predestined for the lefties.
Quran 56, verse 41. But those of the left hand, how unhappy those of the left hand! They will be in the scorching hot wind and boiling water, under the shadow of thick black smoke, neither cool nor agreeable. They will be gathered together on a certain day, which,
like their fate,
is predetermined. Then you, the erring and the deniers, will eat zakum.
It's a thorn tree.
Fill your bellies with it and drink scalding water, lapping it up like female camels, raging of thirst and diseased. Such will be their entertainment, their welcome on the day of doom. The welcome of boiling water and the entertainment of roasting in hell. This is indeed the ultimate truth.
According to the
ultimate truth,
only 1 in 1,000 people will avoid
the entertainment of roasting while lapping up thorns and scalding water.
Allah is fixated on tormenting His creation. He speaks of pain and punishment more frequently than any other subject, 1,000 times in the Quran. And if God thinks this is entertaining, we've got a problem. Fortunately for mankind, Allah isn't God. He's just a warped figment of Muhammad's sadistic imagination. And while that's good, it's also bad. Over 1 billion people claim to be subservient to Allah. 60% are young, and many of them are willing to die for their virginal reward. The story of Adam's boys is next. What do you bet Muhammad twists this Bible account for his benefit?
Tabari. The story of Cain and Abel was told by Allah to Muhammad in the Quran, saying, Recite to them the meaning of the people of the book, the story of the 2 sons of Adam truthfully, to the end of the story.
So here we go.
Eventually 2 boys called Cain and Abel were born to Adam. Cain was a farmer and Abel was a herdsman. Cain was the older of the 2.
Thus far, this is from the Bible. But there is an Islamic twist.
Cain had a sister who was more beautiful than Abel's sister.
How could that be if they were brothers?
Abel sought to marry Cain's sister, but Cain refused and said, "She is my sister, born together with me, and she is more beautiful than your sister. I deserve to marry her more than you do." Adam ordered Cain to marry her to Abel. However, he refused.
Muhammad's preoccupation with sex was second only to his sadism, and Islam's prophet, like his version of Abel, murdered and indulged in incest to satisfy his cravings. Muhammad married his son's wife simply because she was more beautiful than any of his.
Cain and Abel offered a sacrifice to Allah to find out who was more deserving of the girl. On that day Adam was absent, as he had gone to have a look at Mecca. Allah had said to Adam, "Adam, do you not know that I have a house on earth?" Adam replied, "Indeed I do not." Allah said, "I have a house in Mecca, so go there."
In Islam, one thing is eternal: contradictions. Just a few pages ago, Adam was created with building the Kaaba.
Adam said to heaven, "Guard my 2 children."
I thought he had 4 kids, 2 sons and 2 daughters. Don't daughters count?
But heaven refused. Adam addressed the earth with the same request, but the earth refused.
Excuse me. In Islam, 2 things are eternal: contradictions and foolishness.
He addressed the mountains, but they also refused. Then he spoke to Cain, who said, "Yes, you shall go, and when you return, you shall be happy with the condition you find your family."
After some bragging and bickering, we find
Abel offered a fat young sheep, and Cain offered a sheaf of corn. Finding a large ear, Cain husked and ate it. A fire came down from heaven. It consumed Abel's offering and left that of Cain.